Yo, what up, pod racers? Are you like me where you sunburn easily? Have narrow shoulders you want to hide from the world? Weirdly small nips? Great news, we have a solution. Original tabletop shirt designs. Reading Rainbow, Dungeon Club, a dungeon in a dragon. Find these and more over at patreon.com/Goblins Growlers Shirt Club at the $25 tier. These are all exclusive, limited run designs. We'll never bring them back again. So be sure you get yours by signing up at patreon.com/Goblins Growlers. Yippee!
Yeah, it's a big magic cat thing that has the magic touchy ability that kills you in Final Fantasy X too.
Oh, that's not a real Final Fantasy game. That's why I don't know it.
It's also in Final Fantasy X.
Again.
Oh, I will fight you for the honor of Final Fantasy X. We will fight behind a Denny's.
I will say real quick before we fight behind a Denny's, I'm so unbelievably pro Blitzball.
If there was an only Blitzball management game the way that there is like Dead or Alive beach volleyball, that would be the only thing Alon would play forever.
I know that this is like not the time for this, but real quick aside, that if they made just the fact that an independent standalone Blitzball game has not been made makes me livid.
This is Quid Pro Roll, a fantasy live play adventure where a party of unlikely heroes embark on a quest to bring dragons back to their world.
Well, howdy, listeners. Welcome to the Daily Crier Listener Show, where all the news and varying and beyond can make its way, well, right to you. We have all heard that voice, felt that gentle pull, invisible yet unmistakably drawing us in like water to the moon. Do we listen? Let go and give in? How often it would be far easier to let the forces around us decide our fate. After all, how long can one truly stand against the tides? Of what I speak is, of course, that perpetual companion we each know too well, temptation. And if temptation weren't themselves enough to worry about, there are those who prey upon our temptations. Like anglers, they shine their light into some darkened hole in our hearts that yearns out for something primal left unfulfilled. Fortunately, not all can be enticed by the same things, and Johannes, building on his paladin training, knew the socks he had packed would be a perfect occlusion to the siren song ebbing around the rocky waters. And if not for the quick actions of the team, Solinar and the captain may very well have succumbed to the dangers of the northern seas. Though now, the party is safe once again, their resourcefulness keeping their course through seemingly any challenge. And Snuffles is a gold dragon. And as always, y'all take care now.
After the ordeal with the sirens, the trip you guys are making to the north actually's been pretty calm. There haven't been a whole lot of obstacles in your way. A couple of storms, but nothing dangerous. It's arguably been kind of peaceful. As you get closer and closer to the north, you notice that there begin to be these big floating drifts of ice that you can see sort of dot along the ocean. And occasionally, on the ice floes, and occasionally swimming next to your ship, you notice seals.
Are they magical seals? Are they wards of some sort?
They are wards of my heart in that they are adorable and blubbery with little flippers and cute little faces.
Because I wouldn't put it past the Boris Empire to put seals on the icebergs surrounding their borders to prevent ships from getting in, or wizards.
Ship seals.
I mean, these are animal seals.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not they are magical seals is up in the air, but they are.
So the Boris
animals.
Empire is against, they're against trade and stuff like that. So they're not going to let animals into their borders, since the seals are specifically for animals.
That's just being an island nation. They're being responsible in making sure that their ecosystems.
They don't want rats. That's what it is.
Or rabbits, or any other number of things that can destroy micro ecosystems.
If you could see what the gray squirrel has done to the UK squirrel population, you would understand.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm proud of the Barosians for making sure that invasive species. I mean, the Juro spiders messing up the southeast right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We could learn something from the Barosians, is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's funny that they've got the animal seals on ocean dwelling seals. That's a good joke. I see what you did there, Barosian mages, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. Alex, what do you think about this combo?
At this point, I've learned to not.
I mean, we've still got to talk about the vegetable seals and the mineral seals.
We gotta.
That keep Boris on total lockdown.
The ice flows, again, begin to increase in number the further north you go. After a couple of more days, weeks, something, you don't really know or remember how long you've been at sea, but it's not too long before you begin to pass a landmass to your right. Not large enough to be a continent, you don't think, but there does seem to be an island. And looking on your map, there is a small portion of the Boros Empire that is an island to the south of the larger continent.
Can we make out anything on the island from the distance that we are?
From the distance that you're at, you're going to be able to make out that it's a couple of mountains, what appears to be at least one sizable town, and a lot of forest cover.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No large, colorful minaret-style towers or anything?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
I'm inclined to say we push on. We're a little low on supplies, but not so low that I think we're going to run out. And the sooner we make landfall, the sooner we can let the animals out.
Only if they get past those animal seals.
I was just imagining a Who Let the Dogs Out-esque interlude where we have the animals making landfall and people being like, no, the ecosystems.
I was thinking you were about to do a Who Let the Dogs Out and it would be seal barks instead of dog barks.
That'd be cute.
I was very excited and then you went another direction.
Yeah, it's I was cooler.
It's going to be shot like the landing at Normandy, but with Baja men.
God, I hope that's a statement that's been said before. Like the landing at Normandy, but Baja men.
What was our landfall plan anyway? Were we just gonna pull up alongside the mainland and then take a couple of rowboats and then let the ship slip away?
So I was thinking that what we would do is try to find a smaller port town to land at. We don't want to land at a big port town because, big town means more people, which is a problem generally speaking. But a small port town, something, about the size of Davenport, would be ideal, frankly, in my opinion.
I disagree. I don't think we should land at a port town at all.
And how do you propose we get a wagon and a horse and a donkey and a deer and another horse off the vessel then?
We are very smart people, and as you know, the continental shelves in this world drop off very quickly from the beach, so we should be able to get up close enough for a plank or something.
I don't.
You
Captain, is that how that
insurance.
works around here? I don't know that that's how that works around here. That might just be an Alarian thing.
Well, let's wait. Let's hear the captain. Captain, what's your verdict?
I am not sure what it is that you want to do in the Boris Empire.
The captain is a very distracted and frail man.
He kind of stares off into sea. He's complained historically about ringing in his ears ever since Koza deafened him, but the effect wore off some time ago. He just kind of stares longingly out into the water now. He seems distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Koza's like, hey, the effect wore off a long time ago?
So, while you guys are having this conversation, Alita is going to pull out the map you guys have. And she's going to kind of set it down on the deck and look at it. And be like, all right, so where are we going to hit land?
Well, I don't know about that. I just was thinking like a smaller port town if there is one.
Captain, where are we sailing toward? I need you to focus up.
North.
To where?
North.
Have you heard of the North Pole? Santa Claus always gave me a warm glass of milk. Even if the siren women didn't want me, at least he would take me in.
I think we need a mutiny or something.
All right, but I do need you guys to figure out what your plan is.
What was our intended destination? The captain's not just going to set off
So-
and be like, yeah, we're going
Captain-
north.
You're
Captain's log. We're heading north. Still north. Always north.
So, just so you guys are aware, the town that you were originally heading towards was the port town of Nestia. The problem is that that's a pretty sizable port town. So if Solinar's got complaints about being in a sizable port town, you might need to change course. But if you're trying to get to the capital city, which is where the Emperor is supposed to be, Nestia is almost a straight shot there.
It's too dangerous. We gotta go someplace much smaller. Preferably further away.
I will tell you, all the other port towns towards the capital are all way further away.
It's a question of which is more dangerous, for us to be in the country for an extended period of time, possibly weeks, or for us to land in a larger population area and then try to make our way out of that without drawing a lot of attention to ourselves. I guess the upside to a population center is that we know there will be things like shops where we can buy clothes that let us blend in, and it won't be too weird because, you know, if it's big, then trade happens there.
Look, I think we could get away with landing at a larger port city if we hide our numbers. And I don't mean walk single file. I mean, this is a ship. There are probably boxes and stuff. So we'll put a couple of us in some crates and carry those off the ship. So that way any potential spies who are looking for us won't see all of us getting off the ship.
I'll go pack myself in a crate.
I'm the most recognizable and the best looking. So I should go in the crate because I will attract the most attention.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably
Really?
Alita as well. And maybe Johannes.
Hello.
Wow. I think this is the first time that somebody's suggested packing parts of the team into crates, and they're not like, all right, well, Solinar's a nimble guy. He can fit into crates.
No,
Well, you definitely could fit into the crate. That's not even a question.
So, Solinar, would you like to get in a crate?
No, I was
Because-
just resigned to it.
We could put you in a crate if you want.
We don't have to make sure that you don't go in the crate. You could be crated. I feel like you could fit in a crate so well.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to down talk your crate fitting skills.
Well, no, that's not the issue. Look, I'm just pleased that wasn't everybody's first thought. Okay, I really appreciate that.
Well,
Thank you
that
all.
was, if it makes you feel better, my first thought was definitely, you know who would be really good at fitting in crates? Do you know?
What? Bull?
Bull. Number 1, crate
Yeah.
fitter amongst us. Number 2, that's right. That's you, Felix. But number 3 had to be bronze medal Solinar.
Is that
Yeah.
his nickname now?
His nickname.
No, bronze medal Solinar. That's
He's been
what they
called
call him.
that. He's been called that for I don't even know how long.
Yeah, coming in third since 1842.
Oh, good year. Good third place year. Third best year that I know of.
So did you want to go to a more populous port town, or did you want to find a more remote port town and then work your way in?
Ugh. I mean, Solinar's clearly very torn about this.
How much of a schedule are we on?
I mean,
What's the sketch?
there's nothing immediately pressing other than saving the world.
Well,
yeah, nothing too important.
the
Yeah, but it's
pending invasion of Alaria, like that's somewhat urgent.
Because if we
Yeah,
get
what?
if we just get dropped off at some like small little fishing village, it's going to take us like much longer to get anywhere important.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
do we have a Final Fantasy VII style meteor barreling toward us at the moment? Or can we be a little bit more loosey-goosey about it?
It
Well, in
depends on how
fairness,
you
the
feel about
meteor can
war.
be impending and you can still race chocobos. So I feel like that
Well-
time limit's a little
Mhm.
arbitrary.
Didn't Argent say that at the point that the Boris Empire makes landfall in Alaria, it'll be too late to bring the metallic dragons back and have them make any real difference?
I mean, I think that the Boris army making landfall isn't going to affect y'all's quest so much as it will affect Alaria.
Yeah,
Well-
that sounded like something Argent cared a lot about, but not necessarily something. Like, I think
Yeah,
that
we
his midterms are probably based on his performance on that.
Yeah, we don't really care about Alaria as a place
Yeah.
so much. Like,
We don't
What does
care
it mean
about
to us?
Alaria. Maybe some Aria, but not
Yeah.
all Aria.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
wow.
It was dumb.
Man, and it only took us this long to make that joke. Wow, we've been doing this podcast.
I'm actually kind of surprised that it took us this long.
Yeah. Honestly, proud of us. Look at how far we thought we came before we dragged ourselves back to where we have always been.
Looking at this map, I'm seeing a lot of logic to landing in a bigger port city. I'm not thrilled about it, and I do think that Boat has an idea here about disguising exactly how many people are traveling here. However, the crate situation is not sustainable. You can
Doesn't
do
have to
about
be.
You sound like somebody's dog. Like, look, the crate situation here.
Yeah. Boat hits Solinar in the face with a newspaper.
Aye. The whole thing is you can only be in a crate on cobblestone streets for about 3 hours before you're really messing your joints up.
No,
So,
look, here's what we're going to do. Well,
okay.
all right, 2 of you will stay outside the crates. You'll dress as stevedores. And when the crates come off, one of you will take 2 crates in one direction, one of you will take the other crate in a different direction, and you'll let your people out of your crates, and then we'll all rendezvous later.
Quick Alon question. What's a stevedore?
A stevedore is the union folk who work the docks and unload stuff from ships.
I love this term.
Now, was he the one that played the upright bass for Doors, or like who?
Get out of here. This is
Which-
boring. Bad.
which
bad,
role did he
bad.
have?
Boo. Boo this man.
Sploosh.
Sploosh is reserved for only good bad jokes.
I don't know that I have stevedore clothes. I don't know that any of us have stevedore clothes.
I mean, they're
So
not
unless-
wearing. This is fantasy times, so they're not wearing uniforms or anything.
I pull out my
times-
fantasy uniform.
Fantasy times for you, maybe. This is very serious business for me, disguises.
You see,
Yeah, but this feels very real right now, tangible.
Do we have
meanwhile, Koza has been like leaned in the corner in some like blue jeans and a flannel shirt and a high vis vest on.
Yeah. He's
Do
so
we-
viz.
Do we have
The most
anything
things.
left over from the disguise kits and the stuff that we took from the temple?
I wish I still had my rat kigurumi.
No, that's for the best that's gone.
Or my clown costume.
Most of the disguise kits that we stole were from, like, temples and were hundreds of years old. Like, a lot of the stuff in there was, like, period clothing. Which, don't get me wrong, it's good for a disguise, but it's kind of weird to be like, I'm working the docks in my long, lacy dress.
I like how it's basically the equivalent of, imagine, like, walking into, like, a shipping district and you see somebody dressed like they're from Colonial Williamsburg, just, like, unloading crates.
What time of year is the Boris Empire Renaissance Festival?
The
Could we
Boris
be that
Empire
lucky?
Renaissance Festival has to be in spring. It has to be.
And what season is it now?
You're coming into late fall.
Ah! I mean, I could, look, I can...
Wait. Sorry. In this world, would it be a Renaissance festival? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, would there be, because, like, would they want to dress up as they always do? And, like, what would be the point of being like, yeah, we're in a class system. Yeah, we're always in a class system. That's how we live. Would it instead be something that would be more of like a bunch of people who kind of like put on like ties and they pretend that they have a sit down desk job and do accounting?
There's a special instead of like a special fairground. There's like a building that every year gets used for the Boris Office Fair.
Yeah, the office festival.
Yeah,
they play taxes and timesheets instead of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. TNT. It's dynamite.
we should have a session of this game where we sit down and play a game of taxes and timesheets.
We do. It's called our day jobs.
Oh, got him.
But we don't do it on the podcast in character and force you to
Because
create
it's-
an entirely new gaming system to play. It's like we're running an emulator. It's like we're running DOSBox inside of Windows or something if we do that.
Someone asked me a bit, they're like, hey, there's this really cool game that I want to try. Do you want to try it with me? And I'm like, oh yeah? And they're like, yeah, it's a trading card shop simulator. And I'm like, no. Do I want to play a game version of my actual job? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, after we're done with that, you can come over to the house and we can play editing and team management simulator.
Team management. That's how you got your MBA. It's just all team management sim.
Alon is
really-
over
really
here like
touched me.
team simulator, you say.
I know. I will say. As much as I've been shitting on this exact thing that we're talking about right now, I will say that a lot of my job in automation, especially, came from the fact that I really wanted to like organize my music better when I was younger. So I just learned how to do macros in Excel to like figure out who were the producers of certain albums, and I like logged an actual like automation system for logging music because I'm that person. So that's why I'm employable now, apparently.
We all have weird ways we got where we are.
Yeah.
But all that is to say, what is your plan for infiltrating the hostile enemy nation?
Crates.
I can fit in the crate. I'm number 4. I did not meddle in crate fitting, but I'm probably the next best fitter.
Yeah, I think the crate plan works. We can have a couple of us still out. We can load the crates onto the wagon, and then folks can climb into the crates after they're on the wagon to make things easier and more comfortable for all. And then once we get there and we offload, then everybody's into the crates. We take off into the streets, and then I guess we get into like a freight district or something like that, where a lot of
the
shipping's
crate
happening
district.
anyway. No, like freight district.
We're going from crate to
Voice in the
freight.
sky.
And then when we topple the Boris Empire, we're great.
I was waiting for it.
Are you really trying to topple the
easiest
empire, or
way.
are you just trying to yank somebody's crown off their head?
I mean, why not accomplish 2 goals at
Why
one
do you
time?
want to level a nation?
They're
I'm fine with-
evil.
Look,
I'm fine with yeet.
Look, if we can convince, what was it, 27 of the Borosian Emperor's closest friends to stab him with knives.
We will be welcomed as liberators.
All right, guys. So the plan is crates.
Yes.
Crates.
All right.
Now, this
It's a
is
crate
very
plan.
important. This is very important. We can't just have 3 crates in the wagon and then 2 people sitting on the wagon. There needs to be many more crates so nobody can put the pieces together and be like, oh, there's 3. We're looking for 5 of them. There's 3 crates and then 2 people. That's 5.
Well, I assumed we were going to load the 2 barrels with what's left of Johannes's citrus fruit. Like, we're not going to leave those behind.
That's true.
Nope, absolutely not. I paid good money for those.
Alita's gonna turn to Koza and be like, is there something magical you could do, Koza, that might be... She gestures kind of broadly to the team. Helpful in this?
Turn everybody into spores and we just float into town.
Well, like, turn us all into rabbits or something.
No, then the animal seals.
Yeah, those animal seals, we've seen them. They're real.
Is there a druid ability that would actually help me with this?
I have no idea. I don't know what your druid abilities are.
I mean, I don't know what my druid abilities are either, so...
The one thing that I'm a little nervous about is when we land, there's going to be customs. They are going to want to look at the crates.
I don't care if that's their custom in this part of the world. They're going to respect the way we behave.
I've got
Back down south.
news. I've got good news. I've got global entry. because I'm a person where my family worked in international trade. So I've had global entry for the Barosian Empire since I was born.
But
This is
should you be
fantastic.
not in a crate then?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't have to be. I legally I could just go in through the ambassador portals.
Yeah, can we revisit Boat's idea that we don't need to blend in? We need to blend in as much as possible. If they want to inspect the crates, if we don't let them, they might do something worse. Like explode them with us in them.
It's simple then. You get in the bottom of the crate, then we put hay on top of you, and then we
Hay.
put stuff on the hay.
Hey.
I just...
Oh, yeah, I'm going to recommend we not do that path. I've tried that one before. It does not go well.
I'm just
Let's-
worried about the wyverns.
Let's build some false compartments in those crates.
All
mean,
right,
that's a-
who's got
that's a-
carpentry?
That's a possibility, but I don't know. That's a lot of material and tools I don't know that we've got access to. I do have a solution for this, which theoretically should work.
Wait, speaking of the carpentry tools, Boat and I just brought our tools that we're using for barn building.
True.
That's helpful.
And we did a great job with that.
We did. People said, hey, you right there, you did a great job with that. That's what they said directly to me, to my face.
The building inspector for that region even came over and said, by God, boys, you did a fantastic job building this barn. You certainly passed my carpentry check. And I
said,
bet any future carpentry check, you're going to pass it because you're just that skilled.
He said that. He also said, I've been inspecting buildings for the last 37 years, and my father was an inspector before me. And because of bureaucratic institutes, I haven't been trained. That's what he said.
You guys did not have those tools before we arrived in Davenport. Where did all those tools come from?
Oh my God, they had so many left over in Davenport.
The locals.
They were practically giving them away. They were like, if you build us a barn, it's yours.
Did you steal these tools?
We found them in the fields, is what Boat said that we need to say if anyone asks.
Okay,
It's the least they could do for us building that barn.
guys.
Well, I can't
really,
say I don't approve, but
we need an idea of how to get through customs.
I've given you several ideas.
Oh, I've got global entry. I'm an ambassador.
Yeah, Johannes.
Wait, I've got it. We'll all, except Johannes, get into crates. And we'll paint on the crates like something like Folger Incorporated. And then they'll think it's just like refrigerators and stuff getting delivered.
Yeah, I love refrigerators.
They have been trading, and they have been trading magical creatures.
The Folger fridges.
Mm-hmm.
Koza, could you turn stuff or you into something like scary?
Like a vampire.
I mean, they've been trading like manticores and unicorns and stuff. We could have Koza turn into a horse and just, like, glue a wooden horn to his head or something.
Oh, or like a ghost. Like you could turn into a ghost and then you'd scare them for sure.
Well, the reason
Koza.
it's because that's what the Folgers have been doing. We could monopolize on that, right? Also, you saying you could turn into a ghost sounds very threatening.
Does it? I was just thinking about Koza's ability to transform into things.
Hey, Koza, say boo.
Boo?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I feel chills. That's, oh my god.
I mean, I could turn into some kind of creature that you all could make look scary.
That could be good.
We'll just get a sheet, put it over you.
Yeah.
We could maybe make like a fake tail and put it on boat and tell everybody he's a mermaid.
Wait, what?
I'm so buff, maybe you could just tell people I'm a Maxotar.
Oh, Maxid.
Maxitar, really?
Yeah.
Ugh. What's the opposite of inspiration? I want to give you a point in that.
Depression. Give him a point in depression.
Aw.
I could turn two of y'all into some sort of a evil creature.
Real quick, I know that this happens to me as well, quite regularly, but it makes me so happy whenever one of us who's Southern slips up and says y'all in character.
I've just embraced it for Solinar at this point.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Actually, so Solinar is the only weird one. The ones of us from Alaria, it's actually an Alarian.
Yeah, it's look, Alaria's in the south. That's it's really just Talair, because then you have to say y'all, but like British.
Yeah, Brit y'all. What's y'all but British? It's probably something dumb. Take that, Brits.
Got 'em, I guess. All right, so who's getting transformed and into what?
Do you all have any personal preferences about what you're transformed in? Like, do you think it would be fun if you all turned into dragons? Because, like, it's
Probably not.
thematic, or
Probably shouldn't be dragons, given that if you caged chromatic dragons, that would be against the law in the Boris Empire, and if you caged metallic dragons, everyone would be absolutely gobsmacked that they're present, and it would attract a lot of attention.
Is this you talking, or is this
This is Alex talking, because
Okay.
this would be common knowledge.
Yeah, got it.
yeah? And I was just quickly wondering, does anybody have anything they're like, damn, I've always wanted my character to turn into a spirit naga, or
Man, I'm so excited to just smother in a bunch of ferrets.
a cloaker. You could be a cloaker, whatever a cloaker is.
They're like, aren't they the ones that hang from cave ceilings and are sort of like manta rays, but bats?
From the picture I'm looking up,
Cloakers.
it does look like a manta ray.
Yeah.
So do you all have any preference? I could turn you all into King Kong.
TM.
Yeah. I want to be King Ghidorah or
It's-
Rodan.
It's probably for the best that we turn Boat and me into something, because Johannes has that fancy noble thing. Solinar is generally pretty good at getting into places undetected, and you can turn into a ferret.
I've been working on this spell that I learned in my book for charming people, and I think I can do it in a pinch. So I was thinking, actually, maybe it makes sense for me to not be in a crate for a change.
Wow. Look at Mr. Too Good for Crates.
All right,
Ah, well, you know,
Alita wouldn't have an opinion. Boat, would you?
Man, polymorph sucks. All your bones get broken, and then your body changes, and then it reassembles. It's just not cool, man. Plus, I have a deep-seated phobia of total metamorphosis in insects.
So metamorphize him into an insect is what I'm hearing.
He watched The Fly one time,
Yeah.
which is also my reaction to watching The Fly one time.
oh, I thought he was making Animorphs references.
Maybe. I was
No,
I mean,
was
you
making
can
a
only
reference.
stay in the form for an hour.
I thought it was 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
That's polymorph.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I was making a reference to my very real phobia against total metamorphosis in insects.
Oh. Total metamorphosis in insects. I thought you said and insects.
Like
Yeah, I
being
thought it was
reduced-
ant too.
Like being reduced to a jelly in order
Yes.
to become. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You
All right.
You just don't like jellification.
Ooh.
Nope.
What if I turned one of you all into a roper?
Like from Three's Company?
Like the guy who does the whips.
Mr. Roper Brendan! What a timely reference you make in the year of our Lord 2024.
I'm
Those
actually-
Three's Company references really get the kids excited.
And it's the irony is I'm actually a much bigger fan of Mr. Furley, Don Knotts' character.
I'm dying. This is how I end.
Yes.
I like how I could turn.
I just remembered. I made a bad joke because I was thinking the guy's name was Al Roper, but it's Al Roker. So my joke didn't make sense. If anybody was like, what the hell? You're right. That probably happens more times than not, honestly.
I like how like I could polymorph somebody into a mage, so I could just like change a guy into another guy.
Hey man, you ever wanted to be a man?
All right, but seriously, let's get a plan in place.
Okay, I can change you all into a monster. Look, if you guys have,
Look, as long as it's a mammal, I'm cool with it.
I'd like to be something pretty if possible.
At Alita saying I'd like to be something pretty if possible, Solinar puts both hands to his mouth and he's like, oh, you could be a unicorn.
Can I be a winter wolf?
Oh, winter wolf would be good for this climate.
I think I could do something, pretty and I could probably do a winter wolf too. Are you sure you don't want to be something more powerful than a winter wolf?
I mean, are we expecting we're gonna get into some sort of situation?
I hope not.
We better not.
I could be a triceratops.
That's not a mammal.
But it's warm-blooded, as the science has taught us.
All right. Despite
I'll be a mammoth.
is that magic though?
Woolly.
The only question mark on that is, do we have crates on the ship big enough for a mammoth?
What
I mean, the
about
ship is made of wood, and you guys have nails and hammers.
what about a pygmy mammoth or something?
Ooh,
Like a toy mammoth.
a pseudo mammoth.
I forgot that they've been breeding mammoths for captivity in order to have
No,
fashionable pets.
it's a mammoth that a species of mammoth that was isolated on an island and succumbed to island dwarfism.
like the Australians.
So, with a plan in place, you head up towards the port town of Nestia. It comes into view in about a day or so, and you can see the beautiful white stone of the lighthouse before you see anything else. As you come in, you see that there are a couple of fishing boats and one or two trading boats that have already made port here and seem to be docked up. There are so many people bustling around the docks, and you notice, most importantly, that there are dozens and dozens of armed and armored soldiers, both marching around the town, and a few of them holding clipboards and paper, and with a very small retinue, are going from ship to ship to ship. It appears that the scrutiny is going to be more than you thought.
I wonder if it would be suspicious at this point if our ship just veered off and went in a different direction.
But you head into the port town of Nestia and throw anchor. Here's hoping the plan works.
Quid Pro Roll is a co-production of Alpha Comics and Games with Goblins and Growlers. Our audio production and all original music composition is provided by Gabriel Perez. He can be found at Amethyst Audiomancer on Instagram. The voice of Alita and our DM for the podcast is Alex Smith. She can be found at Alpha Comic Games on Twitter. The voice of Charles Gravyboat Barnes is Brandon Dingus. He can be found at Way of Brandalore on Twitter. The voice of Eek and Koza are Chapman Adams. He can be found at What Are Birds on Instagram. The voice of Johannes is Alan. He can be found at The Dungeon Meowster on Instagram. And finally, the voice of Solinar is me, Josh Maltby, and I can be found at BlackCloakDM on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening.
The anchor keep going. You guys, we're running out of chain.
I love the term all docked up for the ships.
All docked up for the night.